So let's go ahead and cover section 4, which is a description of other governance frameworks related to information systems management and security, which is an area of research that I like. Now, ITIL, or the Information Technology Infrastructure Library, is a de facto standard in Europe for the best practices in IT infrastructure management and service delivery. ITIL's value proposition centers on providing IT service with an understanding of the business objectives and priorities, and the role that IT services has in or have in achieving the objectives. ITIL also adopts a life cycle approach to IT services, and it organizes IT service management into 5 high level categories. Number 1, service strategy, and that is the strategic planning of IT service management capabilities and the alignment of IT service and business strategies. Next, you have service design, which is the design and development of IT services and service management processes. Third, you have service transitions, which are realizing the requirements of strategy and design and maintaining capabilities for the ongoing delivery of a service. Then you have another dimension, which is the service operations, which focus on the effective and efficient delivery of and support of services with a benchmarked approach for event, incident, request fulfillment, problem and access management. And finally, the continual service improvement, which is an ongoing improvement of the services and the measurement of process performance required for the service. So what does that really mean? Well, it means that you have 5 different areas of support. We'll find different types of libraries that are relevant to either your security management, your capacity management, your availability management when you are on the design of your product, as opposed to when you're actually transitioning to developing your product. And there's several components that every company should be focusing on when developing an application or any type of system or implementing such a system. Then you have other security concerns and best practices that are relevant during your operation of that system, from service desk all the way to technical management and knowledge sharing, etc. And finally, you have continual improvement aspects that are relevant to an IT implementation of any type of IT service, which include your Kaizen focus on the 7-step improvement process, your quality management systems, your return on investments, your service management, etc., etc. So all of these are important components of a successful information technology service. Now, the International Organization for Standardization has a 27,000 series. Originally, they've come up with several standards across the world for either quality management, such as the ISO 9000 series, healthcare management, such as the 14,000 series. But ISO 27,000 focuses on standards that are important to implement to maintain the security of your information management systems. Now, ISO 27000 series, particularly ISO 27001 and ISO 27002, have become the most recognized and generally accepted sets of information security frameworks and guidelines. You will see that companies such as Apple, Google, and much other companies in the US have adopted and been certified in ISO 27000. What does that mean? That means that a third party has gone to audit their policies and procedures and have determined that they sufficiently mitigate the risks of losing digital assets in a manner that can provide reasonable assurances to outside investors. So if you're dealing with Google, if you're dealing with Apple, you have some reasonable assurance that your data is not just going to be lost. Once again, the main objective of the ISO 27000 series is to provide a model for establishing, implementing, operating, monitoring, maintaining, and improving an information security management system. Again, the ISO 27000 series looks at the scope, your security policies, your risk assessments, and then the controls that you implement to treat risks in order to create a system of security management, right? And then you have a statement of applicability that actually impacts your ISMS. All of these will result in internal audits, monitoring, reviews, and surveillance audits that will continuously provide you feedback on your controls and your assessment um, process to make sure they're being effective. More and more companies today have implemented ISO 27000 series to give investors and other stakeholders a reasonable assurance, once again, or a feeling that they're doing the right thing with your data. And that's what ISO 27000 is all about. It's pretty much like COVID, but ISO 27000 is a standard that has been developed by non-accountants. COVID is mostly monitored by accountants. So both of them are quite effective. I actually did a study on trying to find out if there's a difference between the investor reaction as measured by publicly traded companies and their stock, the value of their stock, as they announced the implementation or the certification of 27000 series or COVID. And both investors react pretty similarly to either one of these certifications. So they develop trust no matter what. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and delve into this chapter with actual um, practical implementations. Specifically, let's go ahead and work together on that wine festival activity that will let us know which types of controls you would normally use for different situations. So let's go into practicing our risk assessment skills and what kind of controls you would put together, etc., etc. This will be fun. Thank you guys for listening.